Okay, we're down to our final step. So we've actually gone through in the previous steps and understand what you can spend in case of a catastrophic event. Also, we looked at what you can comfortably budget for a normal year for expected medical care expenses. And we've also looked at some of those health coverage extras that you also consider to be important. Now that we know all of this, we can actually go on to select the right mix of deductibles, coinsurance, prescription benefits, and coverage extras. There are three major categories under which all insurance plans for individuals and families fall under. The first one is the traditional copay plan. This one's just like what a big employer would provide. It has very high premiums because you're essentially prepaying for your doctor visits. And what that means is that this is only good for those that will have a lot of doctor visits. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense for you to be prepaying for visits that you're not going to use. The second category is the catastrophic plan category. And this one is at the other end of the spectrum, which has very, very high deductibles. So it's really geared for those that are healthy, that very rarely visit the doctor. They don't care about copays at all. They just want affordable protection in case that a major health event occurs. Now, these folks also have sufficient emergency funds because they do have pretty high deductibles. The third category is the health savings account plan category. This one is also expects the owner of the policy to pay for expected routine care expenses out of pocket. However, it doesn't have a high deductible like it does on catastrophic plans. So it's actually limited, and the one that we mainly promote is limited to $5,000 deductibles. And it has the added advantage that anything that you spend on healthcare, with the exception of the premiums, so any out-of-pocket medical expenses are tax deductible. The emergency fund that you're going to put away in case of a catastrophic event is also tax deductible. And this plan has triple tax advantages. It's the only tax deferred vehicle out there with triple tax advantages. You pay no taxes with the money that you're putting away for emergency fund, as well as for paying for out-of-pocket medical expenses. And the money that you do not use from the emergency fund during the year gets invested tax-free. And finally, the third advantage is that you can withdraw the money from your health savings account tax-free at any time of your life. So this plan actually is the only one that gives you those type of three tax advantages, whereas an IRA and 401k or a Roth IRA only give you two tax advantages. So let's talk about the first one, the traditional copay plan. Again, this one has high premiums and is because you're prepaying for routine care. So let's look at an example. Deductible $1,000. You're going to pay the first $1,000 of that deductible. And then it has an 80/20 coinsurance coverage up to a coinsurance limit of $2,000. So that means that this particular person will pay 20% of the next $10,000 in medical expenses, which means a maximum of $2,000. So in total, this particular person would pay, on a worst case scenario, $3,000, and anything beyond $11,000 in healthcare expenses would be covered by the insurance company. So let's look at an example of $8,000 in annual healthcare expenses. So you're going to pay the first 1,000, then you're going to pay 20% of the next 7,000, which is $1,400. So in total, you would pay $2,400 in case you have $8,000 in annual healthcare expenses. But don't forget that you also have to pay for the premiums. Now let's go to the other end of the spectrum, the catastrophic plan. In this one, the deductible is very high, $7,500. So you're going to pay 100% of the first $7,500 before the health insurance company starts paying for anything. Now, there is no co-insurance in here, which is a very good thing. So that means that once you reach the deductible, the insurance company will pay 100% of it. There is no 80-20 here. So it's very easy to understand. You pay for the first 7,500, the insurance company pays for the rest, period. So let's take again a look at that $8,000 sample that we looked at earlier. So here, if you have $8,000 in annual healthcare expenses, obviously this is not a standard year. You will pay $7,500, and then the insurance company will pay for the rest. But don't forget, you're going to have the premiums too. Now, the good thing is that the premiums here are going to be a lot lower than the premiums in the copay plan. And just to reiterate here, your maximum out-of-pocket will be the deductible only. It does not include any co-insurance limits because there aren't any. Now let's look at the HSA plan. Again, the big thing here is the triple tax advantages. And so let's take a look at a standard HSA plan with a deductible of $5,000. There are others too. You can actually have a lower deductible, but $5,000 is the max. So we'll look at this one. So you're gonna pay the first 100% of those first $5,000 in that deductible. There is no co-insurance here either. So once you reach the deductible, the insurance company will pay the rest. So again, we take a look at the $8,000 scenario in annual healthcare expenses, which again is not a normal year. You actually have some extra expenses, so you will pay $5,000. And don't forget the premiums. Now, some advantages of the HSA that are not included in other types of plans is that that it's pre-tax. All of this money that you're going to spend, all of those $5,000 that you're going to spend on a worst-case scenario is pre-tax. And even if you don't spend it, it's still pre-tax because you're going to put it away in an emergency fund for because what you do not spend, you're going to invest tax-free. The other thing too is that the maximum out-of-pocket here, that deductible of $5,000, includes a prescription drug maximum. So, once you reach $5,000, you don't have to pay for anything more, including prescriptions. In the other plans, the prescriptions are a totally different thing. They're not included within the deductible or within the co-insurance. You might be okay there, but you still have to pay for prescription drugs. You don't have to worry about that in the HSA plan. It is included. So we've come to the end of our series of videos, and if you need some advice from one of our licensed healthcare consultants, please go to safecoverage.com and fill out a free consultation request form. There is no obligation to buy. We will contact you by email or by phone. And alternatively, you can also just call us at 888-SAFE-713. That's 888-723-3713. And our hours of operation are Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Thank you very much.